Hello, everyone. In today's program, I want to take some time to carefully walk you through the payment schedule for Social Security in September 2025, and also highlight some very important policy updates that are going to affect seniors, retirees, and low-income families across the United States. We're going to talk about both the good news and the bad news. Some of the changes are encouraging things like possible extra checks, benefit increases, or policy adjustments that may actually put a little more money in your pocket. But, as always, there are also some challenges ahead: tighter eligibility rules, budget cuts, and uncertainty about the long-term future of Social Security. My goal is to make sure you're fully informed, that you know what's coming, and that you don't miss out on any benefits that you're entitled to. Because sometimes even a small detail, like when the office is closed or whether you reported an extra $50 in income, can mean the difference between receiving your payment smoothly or facing delays, reductions, or even cancellations. So, let's take this step by step.
Part 1.
Social Security September 2025 Payment Schedule. First, let's quickly go over when you can expect your Social Security payments this September. SSI recipients, Supplemental Security Income. If you're receiving SSI, your September payment won't come in September at all. It will actually arrive on Friday, August 29th.
Why?
Because September 1st is Labor Day and the Social Security Administration offices will be closed. So, instead of delaying it, they move it up and pay you a little earlier. That's one bit of good news. Your money will be in your account before the holiday weekend. People receiving both SSI and Social Security retirement/disability benefits. If you happen to qualify for both SSI and a regular Social Security check, then your September Social Security payment will be deposited on Wednesday, September 3rd. Regular Social Security recipients not receiving SSI. For everyone else, the payment schedule follows the usual birthday-based system. If your birthday falls between the 1st and the 10th of the month, you'll get your check on September 10th. If your birthday falls between the 11th and the 20th, your check will come on September 17th. If your birthday falls between the 21st and the end of the month, your payment will arrive on September 24th. So please, mark your calendars and plan accordingly. That way you're not left wondering why your neighbor got paid, but you haven't yet. Part 2. The good news. Now let's move on to some of the positive developments in Social Security, Medicare, and related benefits. 1. $600 tariff rebate checks. Here's something that might surprise you. A new proposal is being pushed in Congress for $600 rebate checks to be sent to ordinary working Americans. This idea, originally backed by former President Donald Trump, is being advanced by a senator from Missouri. The plan is pretty simple. Since the U.S. government is expected to collect more than $150 billion in tariffs this year, a portion of that money should be returned directly to the American people instead of just going into government coffers. The proposal is that every qualifying taxpayer would get a $600 rebate check. For a family of 4, that's $2,400 in cash. Not bad at all. But as with most government programs, there are income limits. Single filers with an adjusted gross income under $75,000 would qualify for the full $600. Married couples filing jointly with incomes under $150,000 would qualify for the full $1,200. If you earn above that, the amount gradually phases out. For example, a single person making over $95,000 a year would get nothing. Also excluded are non-resident aliens, dependents claimed on someone else's tax return, and trusts/estates. The good news is, you don't have to apply. If you filed taxes in 2023 or 2024, or if you receive Social Security, the IRS already has your information. Just like the pandemic stimulus checks, these would be sent automatically. 2. Social Security COLA increase in 2026. Next up, let's talk about the cost of living adjustment, COLA. In 2025, Social Security benefits went up 2.5%. Looking ahead, economists are predicting that in 2026 the increase will be somewhere between 2.7% and 3%. Now, that may not sound like a lot. If you're getting $2,000 a month in retirement benefits, that's only an extra $50 to $60 a month. But over the course of a year, that's around $600 to $700, And in today's world of high grocery prices, rent, and medical bills, every dollar counts. We'll know the official COLA figure this October, so stay tuned for that. 3. Expanded investment options for 401ks. On August 7th, President Trump signed an executive order directing the Department of Labor and other agencies to loosen the rules on what you can invest your 401k retirement savings into. Traditionally, 401ks have been restricted to conservative, safe investments like index funds, bond funds, and money market accounts. The idea was to protect retirees by avoiding risky bets. But this new order could allow 401k accounts to invest in so-called alternative assets, things like private equity, real estate trusts, and even digital currencies like Bitcoin. This is a big change. It could mean higher returns for people willing to take more risk. But of course, it also means higher risk of losses. So, while this opens new opportunities, it's something to approach carefully, especially for those of us depending on these savings for retirement security. 4. Food stamps and junk food restrictions. Starting in 2026, 12 states will ban the use of food stamps, SNAP benefits, to buy soda and junk food. According to USDA data, over 42 million Americans used food stamps in 2024, and more than 20% of that money went to things like soda, chips, candy, and ice cream. This new rule would stop SNAP dollars from being used on Coca-Cola, Pepsi, candy bars, and other sugary snacks. The idea is to encourage healthier diets and make sure taxpayer dollars go toward actual nutrition. 5. Social Security Expansion Act. Finally, here's something many seniors will really like. Independent Senator Bernie Sanders, along with several Democrats including Senator Elizabeth Warren, has introduced the Social Security Expansion Act. If it passes, it would add $200 per month, $2,400 per year, to every Social Security check. Raise the minimum benefit to ensure no one on Social Security gets less than 125% of the federal poverty level. That means low-income seniors could see their monthly checks jump by $600 or more. Adjust the way COLA is calculated so that it better reflects seniors' real costs, like healthcare and housing, rather than just the general inflation rate. If this becomes law, it could be the biggest boost to Social Security in decades. Part 3. The bad news. Now, unfortunately, we also have to talk about the less encouraging developments. 1. Medicaid, Medi-Cal, eligibility tightening. The federal government is planning to cut Medicaid spending by nearly $1 trillion over the next 10 years. For states like California, this could mean nearly a 20% reduction in funding, about $164 billion less. That means stricter eligibility checks, more frequent reviews, and tougher asset tests. Already, as of August 19th, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, CMS, launched a verification program aimed at catching ineligible enrollees, especially undocumented immigrants. States will now be cross-checking Medicaid applicants against federal databases and Homeland Security records. If your paperwork isn't in order, or if you're not a U.S. citizen or a legal immigrant, you could lose coverage. Even for citizens, small changes in income or assets could trigger reviews and possible benefit cuts. For example, states may now compare your reported income with your bank records or IRS filings. So if you get a side job or a little extra money in savings, you must be careful to report it properly. 2. Food stamp budget cuts. The USDA has also warned that the SNAP budget could be cut by 5 to 10% in 2026. That could mean lower benefit amounts or tighter eligibility. In expensive states like New York and California, single adults without children may be the first to feel the reductions. For example, the maximum monthly benefit for a single person could drop from $291 to around $270. 3. Social Security Trust Fund concerns. Lastly, the long-term outlook for Social Security's trust fund is still troubling. According to the 2025 Social Security Trustees Report, the trust fund could be depleted by 2035 if no reforms are made. That doesn't mean Social Security disappears, but it does mean that starting in 2035, benefits may only be able to cover about 75% of promised payments. So while this doesn't affect your check tomorrow or next year, it's a warning sign that retirees should also be saving in other ways through 401(k), IRAs, or other investments, so you're not caught off guard if Congress doesn't act in time. Final thoughts. So, to sum up, Social Security payments in September will arrive early or on schedule depending on your situation. There are several encouraging proposals, like the $600 rebate checks, COLA increases, expanded 401(k) options, and the Social Security Expansion Act. But at the same time, Medicaid and food stamps face cuts and stricter rules, and the long-term sustainability of Social Security remains uncertain. That's why it's more important than ever to stay informed, keep your paperwork up to date, and plan ahead financially. Share this information with friends, family, or anyone who might depend on these benefits, because sometimes the smallest detail can make a huge difference in whether you get the help you need. Thank you for listening, and I'll be back with more updates as soon as new information comes out.